Do we have a constitution in Europe? No. We have a single market, we have a single currency, but we don't have a constitution. Now, people died in America, in France, in Germany, in Greece. Syntagma Square, where all the demonstrations happen in Greece, Syntagma means constitution, Constitution Square. Why? Because people died there demonstrating for the lack of a constitution. Without a constitution, we don't have an established pattern of rules. We have all these treaties that are self-cancelling, that are impossible to read. Take the treaties under which the EU operates and read them. They are unreadable. From a literature point of view, it's just impossible. It's like reading the telephone book. Yeah? Take the American Constitution and read it. It's beautiful. This is where the Americans feel an identity, because there is a document which they can be proud of. I may disagree with the American Constitution, but let's have one that we disagree on, but nevertheless one that we have collectively decided upon. There was an attempt to write supposedly a constitution for the European Union by Giscard d'Estaing, and it began with the rights of capital. No, read the preamble to the American Constitution. It's about the rights of men and women. Yeah? So without a constitution, we can't have a single market that actually functions and which creates economic outcomes which are consistent with shared prosperity and a shared democracy. It's not a forecast, it's an observation. Look at it, it's happening. You want to see what's happening to Schengen? It's collapsing. When I hear responsible politicians saying that Turkey should open its borders to the Aleppo refugees from Syria, but Greece should close down its borders with Turkey, I think, oh my God, what has happened to Europe? What do they want to do? They want the Greek Navy to shoot refugees when they're coming in? Or do they want to turn a member state of the European Union into a concentration camp for refugees because we don't want them to go to Paris? This is simply the sights and sounds of a disintegrating European Union. On the economic front, I could mention many fronts. If I were to, let's say I were to give you 10 million euros as a present, and I gave you an option of having them in a Frankfurt bank account or in a Portuguese bank account, would you have a preference? I bet you would. You would want them in Frankfurt. They would be safer. In the United States or in Britain, if you give somebody $10 million or 10 million pounds, they don't care which bank account they put it in because they're worth the same, because they have a genuine banking union. We don't have a banking union. And the worst thing is that our politicians are calling something a banking union which is not a banking union. So we have subterfuge. We have a campaign of disinformation about what we're doing. Orwellian. We take a disunion in banks and we call it union. And people out there think, oh, okay, now we have a banking union. They don't. So this is the disintegration in real time in front of us. And what DiEM is about is trying to get people together throughout Europe, independently of our nationality, political party affiliation, and say, folks, we have a serious problem here. Do we want to do something about this? Or are we going to be answerable to history? In 10, 20 years' time, our children say to us, why didn't you do something to stop, to prevent this disintegration?